Brodes Media.
Imagine not being an Eagles fan. Howie's different every day. Every day there's breaking news. Every day there's a monster player who's either getting extended, getting brought back in free agency. Zack Baun. This guy was incredible everywhere, every game. Tackles, tackle for losses, interceptions, forced fumbles. Holy shit. I can't wait to watch him compete for the next few years. And before you say, Brodes, are you nervous? Brodes, are you scared? There's only been 1 year of production. Fuck no! No! Here's why. I trust their evaluation. They've seen Zack Baun enter the NovaCare complex on a proven deal, and he earned a phenomenal opportunity, and they saw his work ethic every second of every day. How he studies film, how he attacks practice, how he prepares for a game, and the most important, how he succeeds every Sunday. We got to learn him too as a fan base. Does he seem like the type of cat that's just going to kick his feet up and relax now that he earned life-changing money when he thought maybe in New Orleans that there wasn't going to be a bright future for his NFL career? Does he seem to be the guy that is all good and he's just going to quit, not give a damn anymore, and give up on his teammates and say, all right, well, I got what I wanted? Please. If anything, you know what he learned this offseason? If you continue to grind, if you continue to be great, if you just grow and dominate, there's probably more to be made, dude. Congratulations on your $34 million guaranteed, which is nuts. The total is 3 years, 51 mil. So we got 34 mil guaranteed. You see what happens. If things are going well, if you continue to ball, if you're one of the best linebackers in all of football, even at your age, there's consideration, okay? We can sit down and really talk and see what would be best. Extension, restructure. Now, he's getting up there in age. He's not a young kid, okay? So I don't know to what extreme, but same applies to Saquon. Saquon's no young chicken, young pup, spring chicken. I don't know what the damn word is. I fuck up all the time. But Howie doesn't. I got to be honest. I didn't know if I was going to take Howie Roseman's words at face value. Remember we had that discussion? And he said things are going to look unconventional. Things are going to look a little bit different. Well, he was truthful. He was honest. Here's a running back and a linebacker. What I love about this is there seems to be a philosophical change. And that doesn't mean the old philosophy was bad. And it doesn't mean you throw away every part of the old philosophy, because I want you to still build within the trenches. I want you to still value pass rush. The pass rush in the Super Bowl, ding, 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 ding. An incredible part to your success. You draft Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, both in the first round. Ding, 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 ding. Monster contributors in the postseason run. So obviously, they are still going to stick to a lot of their bread and butter, but they also drafted a first-round corner in Quinyon Mitchell. They also actively went heavy towards moving up in the second round to draft another secondary player in Cooper DeJean. And I'm used to thinking that the Eagles are always going to apply pressure in the trenches defensively to try to go get 70 sacks again. It seems they are more willing to set a new trend. And this league was so pass happy forever. Let's bomb it downfield. Let's just focus on asking our quarterback to drop back and throw it 50 times and see what transpires. And we'll just try to get explosive play after explosive play in the air. And you know what? The Eagles are starting to bring toughness. A linebacker that's in your face nonstop. A linebacker that's going to play hard nose and fuck you up. And fuck you up when he meets you at the line of scrimmage. When he meets you in the backfield. Saquon Barkley will run you over. Hell, he may even do a 180 and jump backwards to leap over you. But, you know, that's the skill side of Saquon Barkley. He obviously runs harder than essentially everybody in the damn league. So my point is, the passing game, kind of finesse, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, cute, creative. Let's see what we can do with the scheme. Let's scheme guys open. Not that there's anything wrong with scheming guys open, but that's a very finesse style of play. And here are the Eagles setting the tone in such a very copycat league that we are going to bring more of a physical brand. We are going to play tough, hard-nosed to the point where we are signing Saquon when he's already here. We are going to bring Zack Baun back. We want to play with attitude and this fear. I want this fear to be all over the place. Oh, God, we got to play the birds. My body's going to be broken. I'm going to need 16 different surgeries next week. It's week 4. We have how many more games after this? And hell, for the teams that are in your division that got to see you twice, good luck. You're going to need 18 surgeries twice throughout the damn season. That seems to be what Howie Roseman is saying to the rest of the world. Think about how active he's been, though. It's so beautiful to have Howie here. Howie Roseman doesn't have a cap. I tried telling people this, and I got laughed at. What do you mean he doesn't have a cap? If he doesn't have a cap, then why is Josh Sweat going? If he doesn't have a cap, then why is Milton Williams going? Well, of course, there are some decisions that have to be made, but look at all this money that's been getting thrown around. This is from Warren Sharp on Twitter. Howie Roseman has given the following massive contracts since the 2023 offseason. $255 million to Jalen Hurts, $81 million to Lane Johnson, $96 million to A.J. Brown, $84 million to Devontae Smith, $75 million to Landon Dickerson, 84, 75 to Devontae. I don't know if I screwed any of that up. 66 mil to Jordan Mailata, 51 mil to Bryce Huff, 51 mil to Zack Baun, and that doesn't even include Saquon Barkley. How do you do it? Well, you pay guys earlier than expected. You get out in front of the market. You don't wait and franchise tag and back yourself into a corner, and then you get screwed, and then you're paying someone an absurd, irrational amount of money when their production will never live up to those expectations. And then you also have Jeffrey Lurie, who's willing to cut a check and pay these guys a ton as well, and guaranteed money and signing bonuses and the whole thing. But for that much money to be spread around in such a short window, again, the salary cap doesn't exist for Howie Roseman. It exists a minor degree. You got to get rid of some fat. You got to trim some fat. But that fat is Milton Williams. Milton Williams is a good player. Good organizations can find Milton Williams, right? There's only so many Saquons. There's only so many AJs. There's only so many Lane Johnsons. There's only so many Quinyon Mitchells, and I can't wait to see what his ceiling ends up being because he's just touching the surface. Milton Williams is a nice, solid, rotational defensive tackle. Josh Sweat, same thing. A nice, solid defensive end. A solid starter. Those are the type of guys that you allow to filter through your organization while you go hunt for the big dogs. And then you go spend a lot of your cash on the big dogs. And when you draft well, forget about what those players are eventually going to deserve when it's time for their payday. You'll figure that out and pay them earlier than expected. And the whole cycle just continues. But you also get premier talent on very small cap hits too. So that's how he does it. He drafts well, he pays early, and it's one big cycle. But nobody does it like Howie Roseman does it. And I think so far, he's knocked this out of the park. Unfortunately, though, I do have to admit that I think my dreams are starting to die down on Myles Garrett. And when I saw the Max Crosby deal, I just got uncomfortable. And then you see the Zack Baun money. So I don't necessarily know exactly how you're going to swing it. I'm not ruling it out. Hear me right now. I am not ruling it out at all. But I don't know. They do need help with pass rush. Let's look at this. There was a report by Derek Gunn that, what? Brandon Graham tore his tricep again in the Super Bowl? So for any hope that he'd return for another run, I don't know. That's a lot to go through physically when you're pretty much kind of saying goodbye as it is. Now, if you were able to be healthy throughout an offseason, to go through that grind and that rehab and that process again, and then when would you even be officially able to get back on the field again? I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot to go through. So I'm expecting him to hang up the cleats and make a statement at some point if Derek Gunn is right. And trust me, we all know about the relationship and friendship between Brandon Graham and Derek Gunn. I'm sure there is definitely truth to it. So there's that. And then you lose Sweat, and you do need help with pass rush. I don't know if Jalix Hunt is ready to be a full-time guy and just step in there, even though I'm very intrigued on what he can be. But again, maybe I have this mindset of you always watch them go so heavy in the pass rush all the time. Maybe this is part of their unconventional way of attacking where, hey, listen, we don't need to be 70 sacks.